second artist, I would like to welcome Carlos, who is a portrait artist. He's originally from Colombia. So Carlos, thank you so much for joining us at Kalavishari. And, I'm sorry about your sleep, first of all, but, tell
No,
us
no,
about.
no, no. No, 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 for nothing. For sure, for me, it's a pleasure to be part of this webinar tonight. Also, today is one of my friends' birthday party, so I was invited. So I was just waiting for this amazing meeting with you guys and had the chance to join and to share the knowledge and my own experience being an artist. Yeah, I am now in Canada, but I used to live in Colombia and Canada. I had my studio in Colombia and I had my studio here in Toronto. So I used to, in the last 2 years, I built my life to live there and here for the situation with the COVID. So I am a little stuck in Toronto, but I'm happy because it's a good country to develop my work. And yeah, this is me, Carlos Delgado. I am from Colombia, self-taught, and I had to say that I'm very grateful I'm very grateful about to being very gifted to have this talent to be an artist and had the wonderful experience to live from art. The last 6 years living and traveling around the world, showing my art, and also sold my art to more of like around like 60 different countries around the world in the last 5 6 years. And I had to say
You
we
say
really
60?
appreciate. Yeah, 60 countries around the world, like
Oh,
in the last
wow.
5 years, the private collection. So for me, it's a really amazing experience. So I'm very happy to be here, and for me, it's not bad to be in this time. It's good weather in Toronto, summertime. So for me, it's fine. And weekends, I used to go to bed very late. So for
Mm.
me, it's a really good pleasure to be with you guys.
Oh, thank you. Well, first of all, can you tell us a bit about yourself? So when did your passion start? When did you realize you wanted to go into art
Oh,
and the
that's
create?
a long story, but I think the universe bring me to the point to create my art. I come to this world with this talent. My father said that. My father saw that when I was 3 years old. But the circumstance, being an artist or have a talent in a country like Colombia is very complicated because the economical situation.
Mm.
In my case, in my family, we don't have the money to get educated. But I had the chance to move to Canada 10 years ago. And when I moved to Canada, I came with the conviction to be an artist. So for me, I'm almost going to be 40 this year. So 10 years ago, I was 30. And I came to Canada with the determination to try to be an artist. I had a lot of challenge when I moved here because I didn't speak English and I didn't have the education. Didn't have the connections. But for me, it was really complicated to start. And maybe the first 2 3 years was just trying to learn the language, trying to understand how to do my business with art. So I found it that I want to be a professional artist, but at the same time, I have a lot of challenge, like also that situation to create my own style. I think one of the big challenge becoming artist was like, what is my identity being an artist? What can be the art that they made me feel that this is something that I feel that this is me, not
Yeah.
just to get a picture and painted. It's like mostly to bring something from here. So based on creativity, what can I give to the what can I give to the world with my art, something that the people can digest it around the world. I'm Latino, but in the same time, I want to create something that everyone can understand and can get something from that.
Mm.
So uh, the first thing that I like 6 7 years ago was trying to find myself like an artist. I didn't have the tools because I didn't have the education. But what can be because I was very passionate about to create my own art and become like the contemporary artist. So I start to look myself and I will start to see what are the things that inspired me. So I found a really big inspiration in the people like every day taking the streetcar or the subway the public transport, seeing the people for me was very fascinating situation that I found inspiration on that. I didn't take picture in that moment. I just tried to grab in my mind all this expression, and I was trying to guess in my head, like, what is the situation with this person? What is the story behind all these people squeezing in the public transport? And from that, I start to create my first series called Being Human in the System. And from that point, I realized that my passion is to create, and I feel like I'm on a bridge to bring to interpret it, the human being expression. So from that point, 6 years ago, I created my first series called Being Human in the System, and the second step was like, wow, now I have something that is very solid, and I feel it, and I finally found my style or my identity like artist. But the next step is like, how I'm gonna sell this? How I'm gonna find galleries? How I'm gonna find somebody like this? So I had to suggest, because I was listening to the last interview, I found in the online market, in the virtual world, a big tool to promote, to sell, and to connect with the world. Already, I think and believe that we already connected via
Yeah.
Instagram. So my big, for me, was like something that opened my mind when I realized that, oh, I had my phone. I just gave, if I have a Wi-Fi or data, I have this phone. It's a huge door to the world. From that point, I started my career, and I become a successful artist, connected with galleries around the world, connected with a lot of collectors. So that's my story. Like, for me, was the step, like, in the last 6, 7 years, trying to find myself, and trying. And the next step was like trying to understand that if I don't have the education, and maybe I don't have the galleries to work with them, I can do it in my own. And in that point, I create my own business and company, because in the second step, because when I understand that I can approach to the people around the world, I also understand that I am a company. I am a big business that I am the owner, and I am the employee, and I'm everything. And from that point, I become an artist.
So I just want to ask, where do you draw your inspiration in terms of like specific artists? Do you have any specific artists that you look up to, that you draw your interest from? Are there any
I think
specific works that you like?
I I think I find a real big fascination for artists like, from the old. It's like the icons. I find like Toulouse-Lautrec, like the same kind of Van Gogh. They came from the same age, but I had to say that Mr. Da Vinci was one of the biggest, like the one of the masters that they opened my brain to understand that how a person in that age become so many different careers. Like, he was a painter, sculptor, he was like, was so many things in the same time,
Really?
and in how we become so successful. He makes a big mark in this world. So for me, Da Vinci is one of the big inspiration. And the new artists, I think, like, the new artists, like, from this age, I find it like, wow, I believe like, wow, I don't know. I probably, in the new artists, I just, maybe from my country, Botero. He's a light painter. Botero is the one of my big inspiration, because he's very disciplined. Still, he's alive, and he's very disciplined every day, waking up early and doing his job. So I think Botero is
Can
one of
you
the
can you
big
say
inspiration.
that person's name again, just so our audience can, if they want to look up? How do you spell
Sorry,
that? You know the artist that you just mentioned?
Botero, Botero, Botero.
Botero. Okay, cool. Because I know, some of our
It,
audience.
this artist, they make this like very big, like big, like the chubby bodies.
Okay.
He's from Colombia, so
Do
he
you mean
really
like a
wanted to.
character? Does he
Yeah,
do?
he used to create a portrait or any human composition, but he made it very, very, very chubby. And Botero is like one of the biggest alive artists from my country. That his sculpture are in New York, around the world, and his work is really, really valuable for, I think, for the art media. So I found Botero is like big inspiration for me.
So I noticed that apart from sort of portraits, horses keep popping up in your, in your work. Is there any relevance to that?
I think it is mostly it's not about it's somebody. It's mostly about the expression, the universal expression of the person.
Mm.
The very important thing that I try to catch from I think the position of the face, in the way that the mouth or the nose or the people or the eyes are looking, is so many different expressions that you can find there. So I go very focused in more about that to create that composition basis in the position of the face and how to create the expression, you know.
Okay.
But I'm not really focusing somebody and more about the universal expression from the position of the face.
Hmm. What sort of advice would you give to upcoming artists? Because obviously art isn't, in some eyes, it's not seen as a stable career. What kind of advice would you give to our upcoming artists, who would want to pursue art, who are maybe
Okay,
slightly scared of, pursuing it?
no, you can do it. We can live from art. You
Mm.
can live very well. You can be very successful. And then based on what is happening now with the COVID, I'm 100% sure, I advise this. The world is like now it's a virtual, like in the way that we in the way that we are moving now, everything is about online. So I suggest to a lot of artists around the world, don't get frustrated if you don't have the access to a gallery, to work with a gallery or something. No, it's mostly about to find yourself and find your own to build your own business basis in the online market. There's a lot of potential things happening there. Believe me, for me, it's a huge thing, and it's the future. It's the future. For me, it's the future. Now, all the galleries are closed for the COVID. So,
Yeah.
in the COVID time, I didn't stop to work. I was showing my art online, and I was selling my art. So it is possible. Get your phone, start to close the TikTok, and get focused in your business. Create your Instagram like this is a business. This is not a photo of your of the mountains or you're walking in the street. No, create a solid business with your art, like the portfolio, and from that point you can probably get something very successful. Believe me.
Would you say to use social media to sort of showcase it as well? Because I know
Yeah,
some.
yeah. Social media is a valuable thing that you can use in the good way. That's my suggestion for the artist.
Mm.
That you can build your own career based in the online market. Believe me, that my own experience, everything become like that, and I believe that for me it is very important. Like if you look my Instagram, it's just about my art. If you look my Facebook, it's about my art and my business. Because it's a
Mm.
business. You have to start to believe that this is a business. If you start to believe that I want to pay my bills with my art, I want to have a vacation with my art, I want to get a good meal with my art, you can get it. But you have to get focused and you have to work hard.
Yeah. And one more question. So, well, I've got a few more, but how do you bring the subtle shades of emotions through abstract portraits?
How I do that transition? That's the question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, that I answered a little bit in the when I was talking about my how we become an artist. It's like I feel and I think that there was a point that I needed something else from my art. I realized that there wasn't challenging for me to paint. Already I know to get a picture from any landscape or something. I can paint it because I have the skills to recreate and to paint that. But what is about to bring something from here, you know? And I was thinking, what is creativity? I have that question in my brain a long time. I say, what is creativity? And I was like, okay, creativity is create. So from that point, I start to look to jump to the next step to create my art, and based on what I feel and why inspired what was my inspiration. So I think was something that in any moment the artists need to do, to feel that they need to go to the next level, and we all the time we want more. In my case, I already know that I'm good doing my portraits. I start to create inspired I start to create some horses, and because I find horses a memory about my grandfather, but with my technique. And at that point, I start to keep going and keep looking for what inspired me, what is the next. But for me was the transition to do like fine art to become an abstract painting. Painting was mostly because I need to create, and that was a big question: what is creativity? And from that point, I start to create my portraits.
So I think my final question would be, how do you sort of deal with any blockers? Because obviously as artists, I like, I think that you guys don't just finish the work in one sitting, right? You guys take frequent breaks, you go back to it, and how do you sort of deal with any sort of blockers, any road blockers or any sort of challenges?
I believe that they're a very sensitive person, and for me, it's like I mostly try to stay very calm. I think my personal life, my emotions, and everything that happened in my personal life is very connected with what I am doing with my art. So I try all the time to find balance. I try all the time to stay in a good position that I feel good by myself, healthy, and and that point is very good for me. Find the fluidity with my work. But when I feel some block, I just stop it. I just move ahead. I walk. I listen music. I get my bike and get to ride my bike. But I learned that I can't push sometimes too hard, because in my case that I create a piece every day. I do 1 or 2 pieces every day.
Every day?
Or yeah, if I can create 5 pieces in a day, if I want it.
Oh, wow.
I don't push. I go to my studio around 11, 12. I don't wake up early. I start to work, and because I work with the intensity of the fluid created my work, I can create a piece in 2 hours, 3 hours if I want it. There's a lot of energy and a lot of emotions moving there. But in the same time, if I feel that there's no happening, I don't work. I go up on my studio and stay in my computer or watching or reading something, but I don't push that much if I'm too I had too much things blocking my energy. But in the same time, I try to stay calm. I try to stay relaxed. I try to stay happy, to keep fluid every
I guess
day.
you just have to let it flow, I guess you just have to
Yeah,
wait for
yeah,
ideas to come to you rather than you pushing
yeah.
yourself to get to it.
Yes, yes,
But
absolutely. That's what I say. Every day I create at least, if I don't I don't do it 1 or 2 big paintings. I do 2 or 3 big sketches, but at least I try to create something every day, and I try to find the balance to don't get like that block energy.
but listen, Carlos, I think it's time that we kind of wind up here. But thank you so much for joining us, and again with your sleep as well. So it's what time is it
No,
now?
I'm good.
Three
I said
o'clock.
three in the morning.
Three in
Yeah.
the mornings. But thank you so much for sacrificing your
No,
sleep
my
and
pleasure.
being with us. And once again, from the whole team of Gocountercultures, we hope that our audience is inspired from your works, and there'll be more to see from you. So thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you so much, guys, for inviting me for this amazing meeting and meet a lot of new people around the world. We
Yeah.
keep in touch. Keep my suggestion for the new artists: keep creating, keep believing, and use the phone for the good things. It's just that.
Well, thank you so much.
Okay, have a good day there in India in the morning. Oh.
Will do. Take care.
Okay,
Bye.
bye bye.